that's horrible.
Shut up.
That's like the worst intro ever.
I skipped some because it made sense in my head.
All right.
And then
Well,
I choked.
listen. All right. Well, we're gonna redo this. I'm gonna do this. Hello, and welcome to the third installment of the now weekly Amateur CSGO podcast, where we provide you, the listener, with scores, league information, and interviews with a different theme each week. This week, it's all about organizations, but not from the usual side of things. We're taking a trip over the pond to Europe this week. Questions are the same, but the accents are different. But first, we have some baby mama drama in the Amateur CSGO league scene. And to help me out with that, I got Uperspark. How you doing today, Uperspark?
I'm pretty half decent. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about the recent events or news that's come from the Eternity League and from Kiwi. We'll start off with Eternity League, as from what I believe, it's some pretty big news. So recently, Eternity League announced that their league is not going to be happening. It's going to be pushed back, and all the teams that were signed up for this league have been refunded, as the quota for the number of teams to join was 16, and instead of reaching 16, it was only 5, and this was, I believe, a month or two after they announced the league was going to be happening. So I'm just surprised nobody was really signing up, as other leagues like Frogs, CSAL, or other leagues like those have always been booming with players. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't know if they have been issued refunds just quite yet. I think they said they are going to be issued refunds. I'm not sure how that works, but I would be concerned if they weren't. But I mean, other than that, like, it's pretty standard, 5 teams signing up for a league, and you wanted 16. I mean, you have to set realistic standards into your first year or your first league, right? This is their first league, correct? Like, this is their first time trying to run a league. Is that I'm made to understand?
I believe that's right.
Okay, so yeah, when in your first season, I mean, I would shoot if I was running a league. I would shoot especially for 8 teams, and we've talked to a couple of league owners in the past. I believe we talked to Kiwi and Freedom, and Freedom's a startup league, and they said, "How did you guys get? We asked how they got all of their teams, and they just said we just opened it up for free, and we just took whatever came in, and they said." We only had 16 teams, but that was only because it was free. So if you guys are trying to start a league, I would say probably limit your number to 8 for the first season. Get a bit of a following. Make sure everything runs smooth, and then go to 16. I think 16 is an unrealistic number, and I feel bad for those 5 teams. I know, was it Reserve that Rezi's on? That they were really looking forward. Or Deserve, sorry, Deserve.
So Rezi, yeah, he told me that they did get the refund from the league, so yeah, they have been paying back refunds.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And like, again, I'm not trying to bash on Eternity League. I'm just saying, like, if I was a team from Eternity League or that had entered an Eternity League, that's very frustrating on the team side of things, because you're preparing, you're practicing every day for this league. You think it's gonna go happen, and then other people almost let you down. It's not necessarily the league's fault. You can't run if you don't have the money to run, right? So it's not necessarily their fault, but it's kind of frustrating if you're a team in that league. So it's unfortunate news to hear. I mean, that's my take on it. I don't know if you have any more to talk about, but
yeah, I haven't been hearing much else from them. Just, I guess it is a disappointment. I thought it.
You're lagging out there, Upper. But yeah, the interesting thing. Oh, you lagged out there, Upper.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh. All right, I should be better now.
All right. Well, I was just saying, XLGG ran into this same problem when they were starting up their league. They didn't have enough people for it, so they had the choice of either lowering it down to 8 teams or just waiting for 16 teams. And as opposed to just like shutting it down completely, they waited, and I believe they have 16 teams now. So it's all about just like patience. And again, you can probably get 16 or 8 teams, or no, they wanted 16. You could probably get 16 teams if you if you wait a little bit longer, but they only had 5 teams, so bit of a, you know, bit of a flop. No offense to that, just a bit of a flop.
Yeah, I understand.
But let's talk about a bigger league, Kiwi League. Now this is an interesting situation because Drop, who's the owner of the Kiwi League, is this is the official statement that they put out. Drop is away dealing with some issues that have popped up concerning, if I am correct, his mental health due to the league. For the time being, Sparks and I will be Sparks will be taking over over to try and get the league back on its feet. One, check here for announcements regarding process. That's their Discord. Two, know your money has not been stolen. It is still in safe hands. Three, please remain calm and bear with us in these awkward times. Thank you, everyone. Grayson, aka Ping. We had Ping on the podcast a couple weeks ago, right?
That is correct. 2 weeks ago.
So, what do you make of that whole situation?
Oh, I did not expect something like that. I mean, I understand running a league is definitely stressful, so I could see how it affects your mental health. I don't blame him because, well, obviously, not only is Kiwi doing this league, but they're also hosting all these servers. I mean, I have no idea if he's involved with that, but still, just thinking about how big this sort of is, I understand it completely. Uh, I of course it's too bad that he had to step down, but I'm sure Sparks is going to be perfectly fine, and I'm sure everything's going to get back on their feet in time, if maybe not right now. So that's
Yeah,
sort of my take on it.
yeah, it's such an awkward topic to talk about, especially in esports, is the mental health side of things. Especially how it affects all the stress levels of all, not as not even just the players, but the owners as well. It's really unfortunate, and of course, everybody hopes that he gets better and does come back. But in the meantime, we can only be patient and supportive. Obviously, if there's a couple of hiccups here and there, guys, you gotta just roll with it. The show must go on, and they're doing all of that they can. Sparks will do a great job. I know Sparks personally. He's gonna be a great owner. I don't see any issues there, and they've got really good admins as well. So I don't see them running into too much of an issue. Of course, to drop. I hope you get better soon. I hope you get the help that you need. It's never a good situation when somebody's dealing with mental health issues, but at least he kind of stepped back from it and just realized what was going on, and it didn't let it. Hopefully, he didn't let it escalate again. We don't know necessarily too much about that, and that's fine. That's his privacy and stuff like that. But whatever he's dealing with, everybody, I'm sure, in the community just hopes that it turns out for the better, and they will definitely bear with Kiwi. I mean, Kiwi's got a massive production going on. Like, they've got their own stream team, they've got their own server admins, their own servers dedicated. So they've got a massive support system going on. So I don't want to be rude, but not to say that drop wasn't important, but it will go on just fine. You never really expect hiccups like these, so it's really awkward when you do get hiccups like these. So yeah, just back to Eternity League, because I think we might have brushed over it a little bit. Do you have any final thoughts on that before we move on, or?
Oh well, I hope they get everything on track, and hopefully, well, I think the reason they didn't actually get it done is a lack of advertisement. I know I wouldn't have heard of it if it wasn't for Resi, but personally, I hope they can get everything back on track. From I guess now from zero back to 100%. I hope if they decide to try again, that it ends up actually going well for them. That's yeah. I just hope. I guess it's nice to see more leagues. It's nice to be able to talk about more leagues. So yeah, I really just want to see them bring it back.
Yeah, and speaking of getting your name out there, if you guys do have something that you guys are interested in, this podcast is a great place to do it. I'm gonna just advertise ourselves here, Uperspark.
Oh yeah.
In the past 7 days, we have 48 listens on SoundCloud, 102 plays in total, 7 followers, and that's after 2 podcasts. So, may not seem like a lot to you guys, but to have 100 listens after 2 podcasts, that's a lot. So, you guys have something you guys want to do, make sure you hit us up on Twitter at Amateur CSGO. But yeah, I think the timing of Eternity League was also a bit off because ESEA Open is starting right now, right? So,
Yes.
um, teams can only do so much, especially organizations are only willing to pay for so much. And I know that ESEA Open is quite expensive. You may be like, oh, but it's just $10 a player, but you've got a team of 5, 6 with a sub, maybe 7 with a coach. That's $70 right there. So organizations, although they are very supportive of their players, I mean, most of them only have a certain amount of money, and unfortunately for Eternity League, I think timing was everything. And that's the interesting thing about, like, if you look at Continental League and Freedom League, they kind of started up in the ESEA off season, which I think is why they may have gotten such a big following. Not to say that they didn't do other things, but that may have been a contributing factor. You know, maybe what Eternity League could do is start up in the middle of ESEA League, because if you start advertising in the middle of ESEA League and you start as soon as ESEA is over, that way people who aren't in playoffs have a chance, have something to look forward to, and the people in playoffs are already practicing for playoffs. So I'm just saying timing of leagues is very important.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, if you guys have nothing else, you know, we are very excited to have our next guest on the podcast. Coming from, I believe, the UK, it's Frog. He's the owner and player of Infinix. Yeah, Infinix, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's from EU. And welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm alright, man. How are you two?
Not too bad, not too bad. So, why don't you just tell us about yourself a little bit first? Some experience you've had in the scene and other interesting tidbits.
Alright, well, I've been. Esports in general, I've probably been involved with for about 5.5 years. And that's not just with CSGO. Not obviously not just CSGO because it hasn't been out that long. But around about then actually. But I wasn't straight into CS:GO. I played a bit of 1.6. I played in some other teams called like Kill Score Esports. I played with them, and they were very very unknown. They had a lot of Danish people. Anyway, that's besides the point. Um, and then I played in some other games like Battlefield, Quake, and I won a couple of tournaments in Quake as well. So overall, I've been around the block when it comes to esports.
Okay. Um. So, uh, before we get into like the organization part of stuff, why don't you talk to us about your league, the CS Amateur League that you were running?
Ah, right, yeah. So what? Just this season that's upcoming, or?
Yeah, just give
Yeah,
us
upcoming
information.
season.
Yeah.
All right, so the CS Amateur League, we've run. This is our third season now. The third season. Jesus, sorry. We'll start early, kind of mid-August, actually. Oh god, mid-August, and um, it's got amateur CS:GO teams, obviously, they're all from the EU. In season two, we decided to open up to the NA, but that brought multiple issues, such as time scheduling. Actually, getting entry fees through was quite an issue in itself because of the time zone issues. And obviously, there was the currency difference also, so that made it a bit, obviously, for the weak-minded, made it a bit tricky to get the fees through. Um, the first season that it ran pretty smoothly. Unfortunately, we had to end it early. But there was no entry fees to worry about then, so we didn't have to give any back. But it ended early due to mental stuff with me, as I heard you talking about a little bit ago about was it the Freedom or the Eternity?
Kiwi.
That was Kiwi League.
Oh, Kiwi, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, I had quite a few mental problems then, and
Well,
and health problems then.
I mean, obviously it's to be expected considering I'm assuming at that time you're still playing for Infinix.
Yeah, man. This entire time I've still been playing for Infinix. But at the same time, we just started blowing up, and it was my first tournament that I'd ever hosted in CS:GO. And with CS:GO, there seemed to be a larger audience, like, of people wanting it. Sorry, so I was getting messages every single day of people wanting to join the tournament. I was getting people like, "Hey, when's the tournament on? I want to watch. I want to support you guys, or I want to support so and so. When's it on?" And then obviously when matches were delayed by like 5-10 minutes, the people that were really nitpicky and didn't understand that there might be a server issue or something like that, they were just constantly bombarding you with messages, and it kind of gets to you, you know. Well, I don't know if you want to, because I don't know if you've hosted a tournament, but yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend it for like, but I know it seems kind of weird, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend it if you're willing to like stick through that. That's why I ended up hosting season 2, but that made everything crap again. Can I swear on this?
Oh yeah, man.
It's all good.
Well, in that case, everything was fucking shit.
I like it.
And then, no offense to you guys or anyone, I'm gonna make myself look like a dickhead.
Disclaimer: this podcast may contain vulgar
Bit fucking-
language.
bit fucking-
Vulgarities.
Anyway, all of the issues in season 2 mainly seem to derive from American players, and that's not me generalizing either. Like there was a fair issues that came from myself and me not being clear about the rules set. There was quite a bit of hoo-ha around that season, especially involving Resi and Immense Esports, who went on to be Man Down, I believe, and then they kind of broke up.
Wait, Resi? Like the
Resi.
Resi.
The Resi.
Oh my god, dude. Is he just never not fucking shit up?
He hated at that time I was coaching Destin, which was playing in the league, and he really hated us. He because I believe it was Cole, Jugger, and Zed, which is now Cameron playing for Erox, but they were playing on a team together back a while back, named ATR above the rest, and I guess they just broke off with a lot of hate. So there's a lot of hate going back and
Yeah, it was around that time that
like I said.
their organization shut down due to
Yeah.
multiple scandals coming out from themselves, such as, I don't want to start shit again 'cause I hate it, but due to like stolen logos that kind of flew around, and then, man, I'm sorry, but like Resi's management again, it kind of comes into, I don't want to be, I sound like a dickhead, I really do. But like
Man,
it just seems to be a recurring factor. This isn't me saying, Resi, I hate your ass. This is me saying, this seems to have happened quite a few times. Like, come on, there has to be
honestly,
something.
honestly, at this point, we should just rename this podcast episode 3, "Ripping on Resi."
Yeah.
It's a true thing. I don't want to make myself look like a dickhead, and not because I respect myself, but because I respect other people's like emotional states. So I don't want to be like sat here and just be like talking shit like, oh, you're gay kind of thing. I kind of want to be like just talking normally about it, because this is kind of, I'm kind of turning away from the CSAL thing, but if people receive an insult or something that looks like an insult, they instantly take it like an insult. Like even a critique. There we go. If someone gives you a critique about what you're doing, they'll be like, "No, man, you fucking hate me, then, don't you? You hate me. What's that? You calling my mom? What?" They're just like everything. They'll take it straight to heart when you might be giving them advice. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
like for example, I understand that Resi has put quite a bit of effort into the stuff he's doing, but the thing from my perception, from the third person perspective, it seems to me that he's not allocating the right amount of effort into the right amount of places. Does that make sense?
Understand.
He's made way too many places, aka 7 orgs a week, and then he's got this one little pot. It's like a swear jar, but he's got like one little pot of like memory and effort, and then he'll break the pot,
Oh
and he'll
my
just be like,
god.
okay, I'll kind of just like spread out some stuff there. That's my perspective. That's not me that's not me shit talking. That's what seems to happen, and it seems to happen on a occurring basis.
Yeah.
So I'm like when people raise shit about Resi, I'm like, duh, it's Resi. It's got to that point where it's like become his alibi. Alibi? Is that the right thing?
That's right.
His
Well,
his
kind of.
legacy.
Legacy.
Legacy. I like
Yeah.
that one.
his
Yeah.
legacy within the NA CS:GO scene is not necessarily too hot right now. But
Yeah.
reeling it back into Infinix here.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No, dude, honestly, it's fine.
I
You
just thought
know,
I'd make a point.
when tell us, I guess, tell us about Infinix here. Try to leave Resi out of
God.
it. Oh no.
Just ignore me. I had a
Ow.
my throat. Anyway, what was I? Infinix. Was that it?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, how much have you had to drink at this point?
That's confidential.
Oh god.
Don't ask me to spell that. And all right. So Infinix is basically Infinix has basically been me and Sam. If you don't know, Sam is Tio. He's changed his name a couple times. He changed it to Astro. He probably changed it to like Dixon as well. But his name is Sam, and his actual name now is Tio. And I wouldn't say he's amazingly popular, but he's popular because he's a nice guy. Like with whoever he meets, he's been kind of a neutral person when there's been drama, for example, in CSAO. And it's just been me and him running Infinix, but without the name Infinix for a good long time. It was Team Vortex for ages, and it turns out the guy who made our logo, was it that? Yeah, I believe so. The guy who made our logo swiped a copyrighted one, so that's dandy. And then we decided to change the organization name to Infinix, which my girlfriend came up with. So we were literally just talking in a little group chat on Facebook for a little bit, and we're just like, you know, come up with a name, and then she said Infinix, and we went with it. Little did we know it was a Nigerian phone brand, but turns out that it is. Yeah, we've got at the moment we've got a CS:GO team. Due to us dropping our NA side of CS:GO, purely because it raised way too many issues. We had personal issues going on. I wouldn't say personal as in like I hate you kind of thing, but people kind of taking control of the organization too much. If that makes sense. Thinking their power was more than they had. If that makes sense.
Yep.
And then there was a lot of inactivity as well, because we had two rosters. One of them had a power kind of issue, and the other one was inactive, so we dropped both of them. And then we also decided to remove Infinix Black, who was our second EU roster, and we kind of just like we decided to remove that roster slot aside from an actual roster, because the original Infinix Black, who won season 2 of CSEO, might I add, they kind of just like split up due to like personal issues, and they wanted to go to national teams. Like a couple of them, one of them was from Cyprus, and he wanted to join a big Cyprus team because he was like top 100 in Cyprus or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean Cyprus isn't a big country, so don't like suck his dick. But like, but he was good. Don't get me wrong. That was Xenon, if you remember him.
I
If you
no.
watched season 2 anyway, he had the
I don't
yellow Infinix logo. Well, anyway, he was a good guy. He was pretty much top rating every single game. He was a solid player. Shout out. Anyway, what else do you want to know?
So in terms of activity inside the org, I understand you guys are you're competing in your own league, but will you be playing in any other leagues to fill the time between now and August?
No, we won't. The main reason for that is because of GCSEs, which I take it as like finals for you guys. So like final exams,
Yes.
and we've also got people doing A-level exams as well in the organization. Sorry, in the Infinix UK team.
So now would be a break time for you guys, I'm assuming. Well, for
Essentially,
exams.
I personally have been on a break from CS for like the last 2-3 months, and then people in the team have been kind of on and off. A couple of us are on holiday, just people that hasn't touched CS in ages. So we plan to come back in around 15 days, actually, or 2 weeks. I'd say 2 weeks. In around, pardon me. Oh God, pardon me. In around 2 weeks to kind of like get back on top of things. We brought in a coach who's called Dopey as well.
I believe I heard about him.
Yeah, we brought in a coach.
That's pretty dope.
So we can kind of like get things going, get things going a little bit, and hopefully throw us into a higher level quicker. So we should be able to win CSAR,
All right.
which should be good.
Yeah.
What about
So
CSAL? Oh God. Okay, I know we talked about it earlier, but how's all the planning and stuff going? I haven't been hearing much about it.
That's purely because I've not been active, so I haven't been releasing anything. Obviously, I should have got another admin to do so, but we just haven't got around to it. I can confirm that all of the 8 teams are in. Do you want me to list them?
Sure.
All right, so we've got Team Infinix, obviously. We've got Callus Rising, who I don't believe are very well known. We've got Mouse One Esports, you might have heard of them. We've got Mouse One Blue, their second team. We've got Pragmatic, Team Invidious, who were kind of reincarnated from the season 1 team that played, and they were the winner. Well, they came out on top. Because it ended abruptly. Anyway, and then we've got Thunder 8 CS, and we have Upper Hand Gaming, and they're all going to be attending. There seems to be a couple of roster issues going on at the time of on Mouse One Blue, but I'll be resolving that a little bit later on. So just a little tip. No, note. That's it. We're not accepting any more teams. So if you're listening to this and you're wanting to get into season 3, we're not taking any more teams for season 3. But if you want to DM me or DM the CSAL Twitter, it's either at Fred the Frog or at CS Amateur League. Can you guys link that somewhere?
yeah, we'll link that in the description below.
Dear. Anyway, yeah. So if you DM either of those accounts, the DMs are open, and just ask about season 4. Season 4 is planned for either after August, so like maybe end of August, maybe like early September. So it'll be quite soon after season 3, if it goes ahead. So yeah, just DM, ask if there's any more information that's come out, kind of like that.
Okay, so yeah, I guess just one quick question: is there anybody you want to thank, from conception of Infinix to your organization to helping it with CS Amateur League? Anything?
No, did it all myself.
I like it.
I'm kidding. I've got to. All right, my boys. I want to thank. Who is it? Brainwork. I want to thank Sam. Sam's a nice guy. I want to thank Sam. I'm also going to thank Exempt Concepts. They are the makers of our jerseys, and I think they're going to be released fairly soon. Let's be honest, no one's really hyped about that. and then oh, I'm laughing at myself. This is bad. And then I want to thank Snooze PC, who have been like mega supportive of us on legal terms, and also maybe a bigger sponsorship deal in the future. Maybe not. I'll talk to people about that later, and I'll probably release it on Twitter. So stay tuned at Team Infinix, INFX even, and Boss Boxes. Good guys, they sell nice stuff. Use code INFX, and and then yeah. Oh, G2A. There you go.
G2A.
Yeah.
Ooh, big sponsors.
Big boys.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't believe me, man.
we on.
It's not fun. Just because I'm from the UK, man.
Well, we'd like to thank you for popping on here. Definitely making us laugh more than any other interviewee has done before, and also being the first one from Europe to agree to an interview, and the only one from Europe actually to agree to an interview. So
Honestly, UK is amazing, man.
yeah, I'm part of.
Sorry for sucking my own dick, but come on.
Maybe we can get some of your players on here in the in the coming weeks. So.
You sure about that? You don't sound so sure.
Anyway, thank you very much for being on here, Frog. It's been our pleasure to have you, and
My pleasure. My pleasure.
and you have a good day.
Yeah, you
Make
too,
sure to
man.
make sure to check out our Twitters at CS Amateur League at
Thank you once again for listening all the way to the end, and as a special reward, we do have a new segment. It's called Reading Romeo and Juliet with the guest, and so myself is Juliet, and Frog was Romeo. So I hope you guys enjoy. As always, make sure you go check out our Twitter at official_HU6HE and at Upersparker, as well as at Amateur CSGO, for more news and updates and anything of the likes that you see in this podcast, and at Fred the Frog for our host or our interviewer today, Fred. So thank you guys for listening, and all you loyal listeners who listened right to the end, you guys get to hear a little bit of a tidbit from us having a little bit of too much fun recording this.
from 33 because that's where it says like the most famous
Okay.
famous line.
Where are we going? Are we going left side?
We're going
Left side,
left side 33, 33.
33 to 53 maybe.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, 33 to 53.
Oh Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn, my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name, 'tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague, eh? What's Montague? It is no hand, no foot, no arm, no face, no any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be in some other name. What is a name? That which we call a rose. By any other word would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not a Romeo cold, retain the dear perfection which he owed without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
Oh, wait, it's me.